All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, let's get some basic knowledge out of the way before I go forward with this video. There are two people that are important to this story, and I need you to know the difference between the two. To the left is j.prince, the son of the guy to the right, who is j.prince. All right, just to put in some clarity here, j.prince, who otherwise is known as j.prince, is the guy who helped founded Drake. All right, very important information. j.prince is the father to the right, like I said previously, the legend who is the machine behind a lot of this stuff. And I don't even know what Jazz and James's relationship as a father-son is at this point in time, but these two are both very important Texas men, and j.prince to the left is the man that is responsible for, a lot of people deem him as the guy responsible for finding Drake. Heck, Drake always credits j.prince as probably one of the most influential guys outside of Wayne in his career. All right, now that we have that bit of information out of the way, the guy that we're going to be talking about in this video is j.prince to the right. Just had to clear that up for everyone. All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing out there? j.prince is fed up with Birdman and his bullshit, and like fans, he knows a lie when he sees one. All right, Birdman is doing a couple interviews, not many, but he's doing a couple interviews, and he's out promoting his new Cash Money documentary, and he's talking a lot of hoopla about how we're gonna get Wayne paid, we're gonna see a Wayne album in 2018, and just like fans, this is somebody who's on the inside. Now, I'm not saying j.prince, the father, is touching Drake's day-to-day what's going on, or touching anything that Birdman has going on day-to-day. He just sees bullshit and he's calling it out. But some reason Birdman gets mad at everyone when they step into his business. But we're tired of being lied to as fans. Like, doesn't that have to matter for something? Like, j.prince took to his Instagram account to call out Birdman for his lies and his bullshit. He stepped to him about his son. He said, look, I've always had respect for the two brothers, Ronald and Brian Williams Hustle, because anyone who is successful in this music business earns the respect. I'm glad to have been an inspiration to them, but you witnessed the words that came out of his mouth. And I quote, his family is my family. You got to understand, that's where Drake comes into play. That came from Jay. Nobody knows that. The Jay that really deserves the respect and to be paid is my son, j.prince. He discovered Drake. I've never been a man to use the word family loosely because I believe life and death is in the power of the tongue. I always walk in great respect for the universal laws, one being cause and effect, simply meaning you reap what you sow. With that being said, I say to this man they call Birdman, don't forget you have children, and I know you wouldn't want them to reap the seeds you have sown by doing bad business. This is the truth, raw and uncut. This is how you earn respect on your name. If you can relate to this truth, mention Birdman and post real talk. Listen, I don't know if that was a threat. I don't know if was that a check. You could take that so many ways. Did he threaten his kids? I don't know what j.prince just did there, but I'm not questioning that man, sir, because I've heard some pretty dangerous stuff revolving around that man's name, and I'm gonna leave it at that. With that being said, it's quite simple to him. People want Birdman to pay up some money. And listen, it's one thing for Birdman to say, you fans don't know what you're talking about. But Birdman, this is somebody who's directly involved in this situation via his son. j.prince is saying, my son, j.prince, did not get the just due that he was owed for discovering Drake. You owe Drake money, which means you owe Jazz money, which is a simple ripple effect on down to everyone involved. You need to pay some people. All right, I think they're saying Wayne, well, really the ripple down effect is Wayne is owed money and he can't pay Drake, and I'm pretty sure that means Drake can't pay Jazz. I think that's how it breaks down. And j.prince is like, look, I need to see some things happening. You don't want this to end up being something that your kids got to deal with. Now, he could have generally been speaking, yo, you don't want your kids to be broke, which very well could have been, or it could have been j.prince throwing the threat at his ass. He could have been like, yo, your kids might be in jeopardy. I don't know, but I don't want to put that energy out in the atmosphere. Nevertheless, there are people who want Birdman to pay up, and there are people out there, because Birdman always likes to check fans for hopping in his business and check personalities for hopping in his business. There are people out there that are directly tied to this situation who are speaking. You got guys like Drake and guys like j.prince that are not really trying to talk about it, I think out of respect for Birdman. But there are, and Nicki doesn't talk a lot as well. But Birdman, sir, I would like to hear you justify the fact that there are people speaking on this situation who are directly affected, like a j.prince, who was the father of j.prince, like a Tyga, who said this years ago that you weren't paying your artists. We didn't believe Tyga because we looked at Tyga as the corny artist, and he didn't have public perception on his side, right? Wayne spoke out, and it just seems like Birdman is continuing deflecting as we see money issue after money issue come up in different situations that it doesn't look like he's taking care of his finances the best of ways. And if one could pick a side, most people pick the side of Lil Wayne because Lil Wayne's the musician who delivers the music. And at the end of the day, the fans are like, yo, we just want the music. And if there's somebody in between us and the music from Wayne, you're the issue. And we see you dealing with money problems. Your 12 million home has been taken away from you, so it makes sense that you are the problem. We don't hear Wayne dealing with money problems. So again, to each his own. j.prince just was giving his input, and I think his input holds a lot of weight. We will see what happens, but he's like, yo, stop telling us about these Wayne projects and everything, and this Cash Money story where you're lying and using the words family when family is something that should be taken serious, and you're not conducting yourself as a person who considers people family. Thank y'all for the time. Let's support. What y'all think about all this? Talk to me in the comment box below. I'm out.
I want to salute you, homie, you know, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
I got one life to live out my dreams, and I'm giving this thing all I got. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I represent the culture.
Right now, you're turning up on itsmrtaliaferro.com, shawty.